Hey everyone, it's a Phoam Ranger here. Another episode of Phoam Ranger Sports. This one is finishing up recapping men's basketball games through current date of February 27th, which is three of them. The first one doing is Boise State Utah State road game on February 18th. Unfortunately, the Broncos got blown out on the road, 75-56. In terms of offense for the Broncos last field goal was a three-pointer by Phoam to make it 56-75 with 31 seconds left in the game. Broncos' last lead came 21-20 with 6:32 left until half. Broncos Sargent's lead was 10 points with 8:35 left until half, 20-14. The Broncos Sargent's run was 9-0. For Utah State, their last field goal was a jumper with 50 seconds left in the game to make it 53-75. Their largest lead was 24 points with 6:23 left in the game, 63-39. Utah State's largest run was 12-0. We'll start off with visitor stats. Dylan Andrews had a more quieter game, only getting 9 points on 4-11 shooting, 1-3 from range, 1 offensive board, 2 assists, 1 foul, 1 turnover, and steal in 25 minutes. Peanut Carmichael had a quiet game as well, only 2 points scored, 1-6 overall, 0-4 from range, 3 boards, 1 assist, 2 fouls, 1 turnover, and 24 minutes played. Indomitto had a better game with 8 points on 3-7 shooting, 1-4 from range, and made an and 1, his own field goal of the game. 2 boards in 32 minutes. Drew Fielder led all Broncos with 14 points, 5-12 overall, made both threes and both free throws. 4 offensive, 8 total boards, a team high, 2 assists, 2 fouls, 3 turnovers in 23 minutes. Javon Buchanan had 5 points on 1-7 shooting, 0-3 from range, and 3-4 for the stripe. 1 offensive, 3 total boards, 2 assists, 1 foul, 1 turnover, 1 block shot in 25 minutes. A.J. Neto had 4 points, was 1-4 overall, 1-3 from range, and 1-2 from the stripe. 3 assists, 1 foul in 19 minutes played. Phoam had 3 points. As I mentioned, the Broncos' last field goal, a 3 by him. He played 3 minutes. R.J. Keene was 0-1 from the floor, had 3 offensive, 4 total boards, 2 fouls, 1 assist. 2 fouls, 1 turnover, 1 block shot in 16 minutes. Don Perlin had 9 points on 4-5 shooting, 1 of 1 from range, 3 boards, 2 steals in 17 minutes. Spencer Ahrens had 2 points, 1-3 overall, 0-1 from range, 1 offensive, 3 total boards, 1 assist, 2 fouls, 1 turnover, 15 minutes. And it looks like in the game there was a technical foul that was called on the Broncos, probably on Leon, I'm guessing. And I'm just pulling up the score on my phone quickly. I gotta get this off airplane mode first. I forgot I did that, so the little widget wouldn't be continuously popping up like YouTube notifications or stuff like that. In terms of the Vegas line, it closed Utah State favored by 9.5 points, and Utah State wound up winning by 21. Or sorry, not 21, 19 points, 56-75. That's 19, nearly 20 points. Again, this is the first time in probably a long while that the Broncos lost to one opponent twice in the same season by nearly 20 points. Because at home they lost by 20 plus to Utah State. And on the 18th this month, they lost by almost 20. They're 1 point shy of losing by 20. Overall, the Broncos were 21-57 from the floor for 37%, 7-22 for 32% from range, and 7-9 for 78% from the stripe. 13 offensive, 32 total boards, 11 assists, 11 fouls, 12 turnovers, 2 steals, 2 block shots, and 3 steals. They also had 18 bench points, 24 paint points, 8 points off Aggie turnovers, 5 6 chance points. Their An abysmal 8 of 21 from layups and shots in close. Executed on their lone dunk. There were 5 ties in the first half for lead. Times they took the lead in the first half. Broncos 60 possessions, 24 scores, 0.93 points per possession, which is not good. Scoring on 40% of their possessions, turned over 20% of the time. Led for 7 minutes 4 seconds, trailed for 27-31, and were tied for 5:25 in the game. In the first half, Dillon with 6 points, 3 of 6 overall, over 1 from range, 1 offensive board, 1 assist, 1 foul. Peanut Carmichael 2 points, 1 of 3 from the floor, over 2 from range, 2 boards, 1 foul, 1 turnover. Andrew Meadow 5 points in the first half, 2 of 4 from the floor, 1 of 2 from range, 2 boards. Drew Fielder 5 points, 2 of 4 from the floor, made a lone 3 in the half, 1 offensive, 2 total boards, 1 assist, 1 foul, 3 turnovers. John Buchanan only had 1 point. He was 0 for 5 from the floor, 0 for 3 from range, and 1 of 2 from the stripe. 1 offensive, 2 total boards, 1 block shot, 12 minutes. Oh, don't need to worry about minutes. I'm going to go on by half. AJ Neto was 0 for 1 from the floor, missed 3. Bon Boom did not, he only played 2 minutes and no stats. RJ Keene was 0 for 1 from the floor with 2 offense, 3 total boards, a foul, and a block shot in the first half. Don Perlin 2 points, 1 of 2 from the floor, 1 board, 1 steal. And Spencer Ahrens with 2 points, 1 of 1 from the floor, 2 boards, 1 assist, 2 fouls, 1 turnover. The first half, the Broncos were 10 of 27 for 37% overall. The Colts 2 of 10 from range and 1 of 2 from the stripe. Certain offensive, 19 total boards, 3 assists, 6 fouls, 8 turnovers, 2 blocks, 1 steal. They have 4 bench points, 12 points in paint, 5 points off Aggie turnovers, 3 second chance points, 20 possessions to line scores, 0.82 points per possession scored, 39% of the time, turnover almost 29% of the time, and look at the score up. I'll just look at the come on you. In terms of the scoring by half, Broncos went to halftime down 7, 23-30, and lost the second half by 12, 33-45. In the second half, Dylan Andrews only had 3 points, 1 of 5 from the floor, 1 of 2 from range with an assist, turnover, and a steal. Peanut Carmichael went cold from the floor, 0 for 3 overall, 0 for 2 from range, 1 board, 1 assist, 1 foul. In the middle, 3 points, 1 of 3 from the floor, 0 for 2 from range, and made the and-1. His lone free throw attempt he made in the game. Drew Fielder 9 points in the second half, 3 of 8 overall, 1 of 1. He was perfect from range in the second half. And perfect from the charity stripe second half, making both free throws. 3 offensive, 6 total boards, 1 assist, 1 foul. John Buchanan had 4 points, 1 of 2 from the floor, made both free throws. 1 board, 2 assists, 1 foul, 1 turnover. AJ Neto 4 points in the second half, 1 of 3 overall, 1 of 2 from the floor, 1 of 2 from range, and 1 of 2 from the stripe. 3 assists, 1 foul. Bon Boom hit that 3 toward the end of the game, as already mentioned, in the final minute of the game for the Broncos, make it 56-75. RJ Keene had an offensive board, a foul, and a turnover in the second half. Don Perlin with 7 points in the second half. Perfect from the floor, hit all 3 shots, including a lone made 3-pointer. 2 boards, 1 steal, and Spencer Ahrens 0 for 2 from the floor. Missed his lone 3-point attempt and 1 offensive board. Broncos 33 points in the second half, 11 of 30 overall for 37%, 5 of 12 from range, a little better for 42%, and 6 of 7 from 30 stripe for 86%, 6 offensive, 13 total boards, 8 assists, 5 fouls, 4 turnovers, 2 steals. Broncos have 14 bench points, 12 paint points, 3 points off 8 turnovers, 2 second chance points, 30 possessions, 14 scores, 1.1 points per possession. Scoring on nearly 47% of the possessions and turned over about 13% of the time. Now for the home Aggie stats, MJ Collins had 13 points on 5 of 7 shooting. And what I'll give Drew Fielder the Phoam Ranger player of the game because he had the most points out of anyone and the most boards, including offensive, for any player in the game. So that's why I'm going to call it the Utah State road game. The Phoam Ranger player of the game is Drew Fielder. Back to Utah State's stats. MC Collins again, 13 points. Actually, nope, I'll have to give him Mason Falsif. So I'm changing that to Mason Falsif. I'll explain why in a moment. Mason Falsif is going to be the Phoam Ranger player of the game for this Utah State matchup. Again, MJ Collins, 13 points, 5 of 7 overall, 1 of 3 from range, and hit both free throw attempts, 1 board, 1 foul, 1 turnover, 30 minutes played. Drake Allen, 4 points on 1 of 7 overall, 0 for 3 from range, and 2 of 3 from the stripe. 2 boards, 6 assists, 1 block, 2 steals, 28 minutes played. Mason Falsif, the Phoam Ranger player of the game, with the game high 17 points on 7 of 14 overall, 1 of 2 from range, 2 of 4 from the stripe, 1 offensive, 3 total boards, 1 assist. 2 turnovers, 1 steal, 30 minutes. Again, scored more than just had 1 more bucket ultimately than Drew Fielder. That's why I'm giving him the honor. Zach Keller, 10 points for 5 overall, 1 2 from range, and from the charity stripe, 1 offensive, 7 total boards, 2 assists, 3 fouls, 1 steal, and 23 minutes. Alan Elliman, 10 points for 5 overall, 2 of 3 from range, 1 offensive board, 1 assist, 1 foul, 1 turnover in 18 minutes. Elijah Perryman, 2 points, 1 of 3 overall, 0 for 2 from range, 3 boards, 3 assists, 1 turnover in 12 minutes. Number 3, Anderson, played 2 minutes, had no stats. Jordy Barnes had 1 offensive board and foul in 2 minutes played. Colby Keene had 3 points, 1 of 2 from range, 4 boards, 1 assist, 2 fouls, 1 turnover in 22 minutes. Gary Clark, 7 points, 3 of 3 overall, including a made 3, 2 offensive, 3 total boards, 1 block shot in 12 minutes. Luke Kearney, 2 points, 1 of 2 overall, 0 for 1 from range. In 2 minutes playing to Carson Templin, 7 points, 2 of 5 overall, 1 of 2 from range, and 2 of 2 from the stripe. 1 board, 3 fouls committed, 2 blocks, 2 steals in 20 minutes. Overall in the game, Utah State 29-53 for 55%, 8 of 21 from range for 38%, and 9 of 13 for 69% from the stripe. They had 6 offensive, 27 total boards, so one of the rare games the Broncos lose after out-rebounding their opponent. They also had 14 assists, 11 steals, only 7 turnovers, 4 blocks, 6 steals. The Aggies in the game had 21 bench points, 40 paint points, 16 points off Bronco turnovers, 10 second chance points, 7 fast break points, or 11 of 17 on layups, made all 4 dunks, 1 tie, 4 times the Aggies took the lead in the first half. 57 possessions, 34 scores for 1.32 points per possession, scored nearly 60% of the time, turned the ball over only 12% of the time. In the first half, MJ Collins with 2 points, 1 of 2 overall, 0 for 1 from range, 1 board. Drake Allen, 3 points, 1 of 5 overall, 0 for 1 from range, and made his lone free throw, which was an and 1. 1 board, 3 assists, 1 steal. Mason Falsif with 4 points, 1 of 6 overall, 0 for 1 for 3, and made both free throw attempts. 1 board, 1 turnover, 1 steal. Zach Keller, 7 points, made all 3 shots, including the 3-pointer. 1 offensive, 5 total boards, 1 foul, and 13. Adlin Elliman, 4 points, 2 of 3 overall, 0 for 1 from range. 1 offensive board, 1 assist, 1 foul. Elijah Perman, 0 for 1 from range, 1 board, 2 assists, 1 turnover. Jordy Barnes in the play in the first half. Colby Keene, 3 points, 1 of 2 from range, 1 board, 1 foul, 1 turnover. Gary Clark, 2 points, made his own field goal attempt, 1 offensive board. Carson Templin, 5 points, 2 of 4 overall, 1 of 2 from range. 1 block, 2 steals overall, 12-27 for 44%, 3 of 10 from range for 30%, and made all 3 free throw attempts. 3 offensive, 12 total boards in first half, 6 assists, 3 fouls, 3 turnovers, 1 block, 4 steal, 10 bench points, 18 paint points, 11 points off Bronco turnovers, 6 second chance points, 27 possessions, 14 scores for 1.11 points per possession. Scoring on 52% of their possessions, turned over about 11% of their possessions in the first half. Second half, the Aggies cooked a little more. MC Collins with 11 points, on 4-5 shooting, 1 2 from range, and hit both free throws, 1 foul, 1 turnover. Drake Allen with the point, 0 for 2 from range, 1 2 from the stripe, 1 board, 3 assists, 1 block, and 1 steal. Mason Falsip really did his damage in the second half with 13 points, 6 of 8 from the floor, made his own 3, and missed both free throw attempts, 1 offensive, 2 total boards, 1 assist, 1 turnover. Zach Keller with 3 points on 1 2 from the floor, 0 from range, 1 2 from the stripe, 2 boards, 2 assists, 2 fouls, 1 steal. Allen Elliman, 6 points, 2 for 2 from range, 1 turnover. Elijah Perman, 2 points, 1 2 from the floor, 0 1 from range, 2 boards, 1 assist. Tucker Anderson played 2 minutes, no stats. Same with, well, similar to Jordy Barnes, except he had an offensive board and a foul committed. Kobe Keene, 3 boards, 1 assist, 1 foul. Gary Clark, 5 points, made both shot attempts, including the 3. 1 offensive, 2 total boards, and a block shot. Luke Kearney, 2 points on 1 2 overall, 0 from 1 from range. Carson Templer, 2 points in the second half, 0 from 1 from the floor, made both free throw attempts, had a board, and committed all 3 fouls in the second half, along with the block shot. Overall, 45-point half, second half for Utah State, going 17-26 overall for 65%, 5-11 from range or 46%, and 6 of 10 from the stripe. 3 offensive, 15 total boards, 8 assists and fouls, 4 turnovers, 3 blocks, and 2 steals. With them, bench points, 22 paint points, 5 points up Bronco turnovers, 4 6 chance points, 7 fast break points, 30 possessions, 20 scores for 1.5 points per possession. Scoring nearly 67% of the time, and turnover about 13% of the time in the second half. So again, Broncos were definitively outclassed on the road at Utah State. The loss dropped the Broncos to 15-11, 7-8 in conference play. Through an advance, the Aggies to 23-3, 13-2 in conference play at the time. In terms of notables, Stuart Fielder led the team in scoring for 19 this season, tallying 19 double-figure scoring effort. He's also made 13 three-pointers, including multiple in each of the last 3 games going, including the Utah State game. Don Perlin tied a season high with 2 steals. So again, a rough game for the Broncos overall. When they traveled to Logan, Utah, tried to show that they could still be a competitive team. They could potentially compete maybe for a title. Because the team believes they have the talent and ability, but unfortunately, against Utah State, they weren't ever close. So far this season, they haven't really played close enough to that level they need to be. Moving on. What's in the Chromebook responds a bit. Here we go. Close out the stats on Utah State, and now we'll go look at their next game, which was on 21st. It was a home game where they took on San Jose State for the final time as a conference opponent, and I highly doubt we'll ever see San Jose State again on the schedule, including a non-con, where the Broncos dominate San Jose State by a final score of 84-69. This is also the last time the Broncos will meet up against Sada and Ganga. As many of you probably can recognize the game, only from a previous episode, but when the Broncos played the Spartans on the road, but it's also because his freshman year, Sada was a Bronco. He transferred to Seton Hall after his freshman year. And then after that year, he transferred to San Jose State, and so this is his second year with the Spartans. And he he is 0-4 now in his career against his former team, against the Broncos. Again, a game that Boise State did well in. Again, they held San Jose State to below 70 points. One of the first games in a while that a recap that the Broncos had accomplished yet, though again, San Jose is toward the bottom of the conference right now. In terms of offenses, San Jose State, their last field goal was a three-pointer by number one Myers to make it 69-84, 20 seconds left in the game. San Jose State's last lead was 2-1 with 18:33 left till half. Their large lead was 2 points when it was 2-0 with 19 minutes left in the first half, and the largest run was 8-0. For the Broncos, their last field goal was a layup by Drew Fielder that made it 66-84 with 32 seconds left. Again, the final score was the last lead for the Broncos officially. The Broncos' largest lead was 21 with 4:19 left until the end of the game when it was 76-55. Broncos' largest win was 17-0. The Broncos did allow San Jose State to shave off 6 points of the highest lead they had. It was still nice to see that the Broncos can, in fact, hold a lead. Because multiple games this season, that has not been the case. And just again, like I did for just Dave, just going to score. For this one, the Broncos win the half at 5, 31-36, and they won the second half by 10 points, 48-38. And yeah, there is no official line according to the score on this game. Because again, San Jose State is never that good, so yeah. I don't think this game was one that really had many bets on it. So now that that's out of the way, let's look at the visitor stats. Spartans were still a little short. Handed, they only played 7 players in this game. Again, normally they were playing 6 and maybe 8 guys at most so far this season. So it's still par for the course for San Jose, but still you don't really see teams go that route. Unless the team is decimated by injuries or active probation or stuff like that, or suspensions. It does sound like that's the case for San Jose, or not so much. Anyway, Colby Garland was one of the team leaders with 22 points. 9 of 17 shooting, 0 for 4 from range, 4-4 from the stripe, 2 boards, 5 assists, 1 foul, 1 turnover, and steal. He played full 40. Adrian Myers had 23 points to lead the Spartans. He was 10 of 20, 1 of 6 from range, and hit both free throws. He had 4 offensive, 8 total boards, 2 fouls, 1 block, and 40 minutes. Melvin Bell Jr. had 7 points. On 3 of 9 overall, 0 for 1 from range, and made his lone free throw attempt. 1 offensive, 5 total boards, 2 fouls, 1 turnover, 1 steal. He played a full 40. Again, because of how thin the Spartans are, majority of their guys every game are playing 40 minutes. Number 21, Bupadele had 7 points, 2 of 9 overall, 1 of 6 from range, 1 offensive board, 2 turnovers. He only played 25 minutes because he fouled out of the game. Sada Ganga had 10 points on 4 of 11 shooting, 2 of 6 from range, 4 offensive, 8 total boards, 1 assist, 3 fouls, 1 turnover, 1 steal in 40 minutes. Number 24, Langford was 0 for 1 with the turnover in 12 minutes played, and number 33, Overstreet had the board in 3 minutes played, and the team had a technical foul called on them. Unfortunately, that broadcast does not specify who the technical was on. Overall, again, Spartans 69 total points on 29 to 67, shooting for 43%, 423 from range for 17%, 7 to 7 from the charity stripe, 10 offensive, 27 total boards, 6 assists, 13 fouls, including 1 technical, 6 turnovers from block shot, 3 steals, no bench points, 38 paint points, 9 points off turnovers, 15 second chance points, 5 fast break points, relentless 17 layups, 2 of 2 on dunks, 63 possessions, 32 scores, about 1.1 point per possession, scoring on about 51% of their possessions, turned over about 10% of their possessions, led for a minute 1 second, trailed for 37-59, and were tied for a minute. In the first half, Garland had 10 points on 4 9 shooting, 0 for 3 from range, and hit both free throws, 2 boards, 1 assist, 1 turnover. Adrian Myers had 5 points to a 7 overall, 0 for 3 from range, and hit his lone free throw. 1 offense, 3 total boards, 1 foul, 1 block. Melvin Bell Jr., 5 points on 2 of 4 shooting, made his lone free throw. 1 offensive, 3 total boards. Lopedele had 3 points, 1 of 5 overall, 1 of 4 from range. 3 fouls, 1 turnover. Sada Ganga, 8 points, 3 of 6 overall, 2 of 3 from range. 1 offense, 2 total boards, 1 assist, 1 foul, 1 steal. Number 24 Langford was 0 for 1 from the floor with a turnover in 8 minutes, and Overstreet had a board in 3 minutes played. 31 points for San Jose on 12-32 shooting for 38%, 3 of 13 for 23% from range, and hit all 4 free throws. 3 offensive, 13 total boards, 2 assists, 5 fouls, 3 turnovers, 1 block, 1 steal. 12 paint points, 10 points off turnovers, 4 second chance points, 3 fast break points. 32 possessions, 14 scores for 0.97 point per possession. 44% scoring percentage and 9.4 turnover percentage. In the second half, Garland 12 points on 5 of 8 shooting, 0 for 1 from range, and 2 of 2 from stripe, 4 assists, 1 foul, 1 steal. Myers 18 points on 8 of 13 shooting, 1 of 3 from range, and hit his own free throw in the second half. 3 offensive, 5 total boards, 1 foul. Melvin Bell Jr. 2 points, 1 of 5 overall, 0 for 1 from range, 2 boards, 2 fouls, 1 turnover, 1 steal. Lopedele with 4 points, 2 of 4 overall, 0 for 2 from range, 1 offensive board, 2 fouls, 1 turnover. Sada Ganga with 2 points, 1 of 5 overall, 0 for 3 from range, 3 offensive, 6 total boards, 2 fouls, 1 turnover. Langford played 4 minutes, no stats, 38 points for San Jose, 17 of 35 for 49%, 1 of 10 from range, and 3 of 3 from stripe, 7 offensive, 14 total boards, 4 assists, 8 fouls, 3 turnovers, 2 steals, 26 paint points, 2 points off turnovers, 11 second chance points, 2 fast break points, 39 possessions, 19 scores, 1.23 points per possession, scored on 61% of the time, turned over about 10% of the time. Now for the home stats. Well, for another straight game, I'm going to have to give the Phoam Ranger player of the game, most likely to an opposing player. And it's going to have to be Adrian Myers again. His 23 points, 10 of 20 overall, 1 of 6 from range, 2 of 2 from the stripe. 4 offensive, 8 total boards is the best performance of the game. Beats out anything any Bronco did. Dylan Andrews had 12 points a game, 4 of 9 overall, 2 of 6 from range. Hit both free throws, 2 boards, 4 assists, 1 turnover in 28 minutes. Pina Carmichael with 6 points, 1 of 3 from range, and 3 of 4 from the stripe. 4 boards, 2 assists, 3 fouls, 26 minutes. Andrew Meadow had a resurgence in this game. He definitely looked much better than he did the previous few games. Like whatever injury or funk or flu or illness he was going through was now over, with 16 points, 5 of 10 overall, 2 of 4 from range, and hit all 4 free throws. 3 boards, 3 assists, 3 turnovers, 33 minutes. I was hoping Drew could have gotten the player of the game, but unfortunately he just didn't do enough. only getting 20 points, 9 of 13 overall, 0 for 2 from range, 2 of 3 from stripe, 1 offensive, 5 total boards, 2 assists, 1 foul, 1 turnover, 2 blocks, 1 steal, 27 minutes played. Javon Buchanan, a better performance by him, 11 points, 3 of 5 overall. Made a long 3-pointer and made all 4 free throw attempts, 2 offensive, a team high 7 boards, 2 assists, 3 fouls, 1 turnover, 1 steal in 31 minutes. AJ Neto, 3 points, 1 of 3 overall. Made a 3-pointer. 2 boards, 1 foul in 12 minutes. Phoam, 2 points, 1 of 1 from the floor. And 6 minutes, RJ Keene, 8 points, 3 of 4 from the floor. 2 of 3 from range, 2 boards, 1 assist, 2 fouls, 15 minutes. Funny thing is that the one shot that was not a 3-pointer was a layup, and was a first layup or 2-point field goal for him in conference play. Some of his teammates were giving little crap about it, like going into the game. Just writing him playfully about it, about the fact that he was a lone Bronco player this season to have multiple minutes to not have a non-3-point field goal in conference play. And in this game, he did, and he was pointing and at the bench about it after he got the layup against San Jose. So a little bit of some fun in between teammates. Don Perlin had 4 points, 2 of 3 overall, 0 for 1 from range, 2 offensive, 5 total boards, 1 assist, 1 foul, 1 turnover, 1 steal in 16 minutes. Spencer Ahrens, a bit of a quiet game for him. 2 points only, 1 of 4 from the floor, 0 for 3 from range, 1 turnover, 7 minutes. Again, 84 total points, 30 of 55 from the floor for 55%, 9 of 24 from range for 38%, and 15 of 17 from the stripe for 88%, 6 offensive, 33 total boards, 15 assists, 11 fouls, 8 turnovers, 2 blocks, 3 steals, 19 bench points, 42 paint points, 8 points off turnovers, 8 second chance points, 10 fast break points, or 14 of 22 on layups, 4 of 4 on dunks. Again, after San Jose took the lead, or got the first basket within the first minute, the Broncos then really soon after took that lead back and kept it for the remainder of the game. 63 possessions, 37 scores, 1.33 points per possession. Scored about 59% of the time, turned over about 13% of the time. Led for 37-59, trailed for a minute and 1 second, and were tied for a minute. In the first half, Dylan Andrews with 7 points, 2 of 5 overall, 1 of 4 from range, hit both free throws, 2 boards, 3 assists. Pina Carmichael with the point, 0 for 1 from range and 1 of 2 from stripe, 3 boards, 1 assist, 1 foul. In the middle with 7 points, 2 of 4 overall, made a 3-pointer and hit both free throws with a board and assist and 2 turnovers. Drew Fielder with 8 points, 4 6 overall, 3 boards, 1 assist, 1 turnover, 2 blocks. Jay Buchanan first half with only 2 points, 0 for 1 from the floor and hit both free throws, 1 offensive, 3 total boards, 1 foul. AJ Neto 0 for 2 from the floor with a foul in 5 minutes. Phoam 2 points scored, made his own field goal attempt. Reggie King with 3 points, was 1 of 2 from range, with 2 boards, 1 assist, 1 foul. Tom Perlin 4 points, 2 of 2 from the floor, 2 offensive, 5 total boards, 1 foul, 1 turnover. Spencer Ahrens with 2 points, 1 of 4 from the floor, 0 for 3 from range, and a turnover. Of note, I bet as some of you have noticed, against Utah State and against San Jose State, and I believe UNLV, reason why RJ Keene has been mentioned more later in the stats is because he was not starting those 3 games, and he also didn't start the next game that I'll recap as part of this episode. Again, was to allow him to get back to being more of himself after recovering fully from the illness he had before the UNLV game, believe it was, or no, New Mexico. Yeah, before New Mexico game that prevented him from going on the trip. Again, he definitely was not really fully recovered. Again, as mentioned about him regarding Mexico later, it was he announced that he lost like 15 pounds because of the illness he had and doing like 4 IV treatments a day. His body did change a little bit because of that, so he's been trying to get back fully in shape and getting accustomed to his a bit of a new body after the illness he went through. So that's why he's mainly been playing him from the bench. But it sounds like for the next game, which is going to be this Saturday, the 1st at Fresno, sounds like he may be full go for starting again. We'll see. But he's definitely been playing way better recently. And a lot of people are saying that he probably should not have played against UNLV. Maybe not even against Utah State. Just give him more time to recover and heal from the illness he had. Either way, though, he's definitely looking way better and much more readjusted and recovered from the illness that took about 15 pounds off of him. Which is a considerable amount of body weight to lose in a short amount of time. But that said, again, the first half, 36 points for the Broncos, 13-28. Overall, 46%, 3 of 11 from 3 for 27% and 7 of 8 from the stripe. 4 offensive, 21 total boards, 7 assists, 5 fouls, 5 turnovers, and 2 block shots, 11 bench points, 20 paint points, 2 points off turnovers, 2 sick chance points, 2 fast break points, 31 possessions, 17 scores, 1.16 points per possession scored, 55% of the time, turnover about 16% of the time in the first half. Second half for the Broncos, Dylan Andrews with 5 points, 2 of 4 from the floor, 1 of 2 from range, 1 assist, 1 turnover. Peter Carmichael with 5 points, 1 of 2 from range and hit both free throws, 1 board, 1 assist, 2 fouls. Meadow 9 points, 3 of 6 from the floor, 1 of 3 from range and hit both free throws. 2 boards, 2 assists, 1 turnover. Drew Fielder, 12 points, 5 of 7 from the floor, 0 for 2 from range and 2 of 3 from the stripe. 1 offense, 2 total boards, 1 assist, 1 foul, 1 steal. John Buchanan, 9 points, 3 of 4 from the floor. Made his own 3-point attempt and made both free throw attempts. 1 offensive, 4 total boards, 2 assists, 2 fouls, 1 turnover, 1 steal. AJ Neto, 3 points, made his own 3-pointer, 3-point attempt and 2 boards. Bon Phoam didn't play. Archie King, 5 points, 2 of 2 from the floor, including a made 3-pointer, 1 foul. Don Perlin, 0 for 1 from range and an assist and a steal. Spencer Owens did not play in the second half. 48 points for the Broncos in half number 2, 17-27 for 63% overall, 6 of 13 from range for 46%, and 8 of 9 from the stripe for 89%. 2 offensive, 12 total boards, 8 assists, 6 fouls, 3 turnovers, and 3 steals. 8 bench points, 22 paint points, 6 points off turnovers, 6 sick chance points, 8 fast break points, 31 possessions, 21 scores for 1.55 points per possession, which is really impressive. And what do you want to see more often from this Bronco offensive team? To be scoring about in each half like 1.35, 1.4 plus, because that's a lot of points. If it can get like 1.35 plus points per possession, that's a significant amount. Scored 68% of the time and turned over only about 10% of the time. With the win, the Broncos moved to 16-11, back at 500 in conference play. The loss dropped San Jose to 7-23-14, or 2-14 in conference play. Now all time, the Broncos against the Spartans at home are 24-0. They've won 17 last 18 head-to-head matchups with Spartans and now 44-4 all time. In the 2-game series this season, the Broncos have outscored San Jose by 46 points. Dating back to January 13th, Broncos scored 80 plus points 8 times, most by all Mountain West teams in that span. They're also 11-0 this season when holding opponents to 70 points or less in the game. Drew Fielder collected his 8th 20-point game of the season, 9th of his career. Also tied his season out with 2 blocks. Both come in the first half. And with that said, we will go ahead and recap the most recent game for the men's team, which was just 3 days ago on Tuesday the 24th, or Monday. No, it was Tuesday, I think. Yeah, it was Tuesday because right now it's Friday the 27th at about 1 a.m. when I'm still recording this episode. Yes, it was Tuesday the 24th when the Broncos beat the Wyoming Cowboys 72-62 at Extra Mile Arena. A game in which the Broncos found themselves down 7-0. Well, down 7 points in the first half, but found a way to win and win by 10 points. In terms of the... Let's get the score up again on my phone. Come on, you. Broncos went into half up 2 on a bank 3-pointer by Drew Fielder. And they won the second half by 8 points, 40-32. The Broncos were favored by 8.5, so the Broncos, for the first time in a bit, actually covered a Vegas spread. Again, San Jose State didn't really have the Vegas spread available, according to the score. In terms of offenses, the last field goal for Wyoming was with 50 seconds left in the game by number 1 Dennis to make it 62-68. And Wyoming's last lead was 30-29 with 38 seconds left till half. Their largest lead was 10 points with 2:22 left until halftime, 30-23. Their largest win was 6-0. Broncos' the last field goal was layup by Jay McCann, make it 56-66 with 3:23 left in the game. Last lead was 72-62 with 8 seconds left. Largest lead was 10. That same one, and the Broncos' largest run was 9-0. We'll look at the visitor stats first. Starting off with number 1, Demario Dennis, 16 points on. Well, before I do that, I'll quickly take a glance. Oh, yep, I know who the player of the game is going to be. I'll wait to announce it. I'm going to get to the Broncos stats because first time a Bronco is going to get the full range of player of the game in a little bit. Again, back to Demario Dennis, 6 of 10 overall, 2 of 4 from range, and hit both free throws, 1 offensive, 4 total boards, 1 assist, 1 foul, 1 block shot, 32 minutes. Number 2, Nasio Mayer, 12 points, 5-9 overall, 1 of 3 from range, and from stripe, 10 boards, 2 assists, 1 foul, 2 steals, 36 minutes. Number 3, Kenneth Bennett, 9 points on 4 of 7 shooting, 1 of 4 from range, 3 boards, 2 assists, 4 fouls, 3 turnovers, 1 block, 2 steals, 35 minutes. And 5, Leland Walker had 8 points to a 14 overall, over 6 in range, and really did his damage from charity stripe, hitting all 4 free throw shots. I did get to the game like with about 16 minutes left in the game, soon after the first meeting time of the second half, and some of the other guys in Section 12 are telling me that they were chanting free throws only for him, and it got to him. During the game, he was looking at us and gesturing some things to us in Section 12, which was pretty awesome. We definitely got in his head that game. And I also should mention that BJ and others before the game mentioned, against deciding to get there till the second half, that before the game, what normally happens is they do like the intro video, then they announce the starters for the Broncos, and then after that, normally it's the announcer Joy Dinkins does introducing the 6th man of Boise State. Normally it's a crowd student section. If there's not a good student showing, they sometimes don't do it, but this game was the first time ever since they've done, and the 6th man being Section 12 instead of the crowd student section. which is a big honor. Because again, that's the first time they ever did that. Again, they had like 300, like $2 tacos or nachos, something like that. I doubt they gave all 300 away. I mean, there was some students, but they weren't really that loud at the game, unfortunately. It's been a down year for the crowd, just not as much interest or involvement from the student body at Boise State this year. It does probably reflect a bit of leadership, but also maybe a bit of the on-court performance as well. And again, like last few years, there was always talk about like win the conference, making the NCAA tournament, because again you had like Degenhardt and Cardenas and other real talented players last year and the previous years before that. This year, first year without Deggy and especially like Noel Cardenas and like Omar Stanley, some of the others, or Chikbuzo Agbo. And really relying on like RJ Keene and Andrew Meadow, Pino Carmichael as some of the main ones, and then we also brought in like Drew Fielder and Don Perlin. Just not as much star power as there was the past couple of years or a few years that really drew a lot of students to the games. So yeah, it's been a rough year for the student section. Hopefully next year will be much better, especially with us being Pac-12. That might be a better draw. Might draw more students out who are big in basketball and sports, because again, Pac-12 is a much more prestigious shield and logo than the Mountain West is, especially historically. So that might help with better student involvement and at the home men's games next year. And yes, maybe a little better play as well during the season by the men's team. Not be so Jekyll and Hyde. Probably would help with the student attendance as well. Anyway, back to what I was saying before waiting on that tangent a bit. Back to the stats for him. Wyoming, number 8 County Saxon, 4 points, 2 of 4 overall, over 1 from range. 1 assist, 2 fouls, 17 minutes. Number 0 Uriah Rojas, 7 points, 3 of 5 overall, 1 of 2 from range. 3 assists, 2 fouls, 1 block and steal, 15 minutes. Number 10, Abu Magasa, only had a turnover and steal of 4 minutes. Adam Harakov, 13 minutes. Or number 13 was 0 for 2, overall 0 for 1 from range. 3 fouls, 1 turnover, 9 minutes. And number 35, Sim Sadi, 6 points, 2 of 6 overall, 2 of 5 from range. 2 offensive, 3 total boards, 2 fouls, 1 turnover, 1 block, 2 steals in 19 minutes. Again, 62 total points for Wyoming on 24-57 for 42%, 7-26 from range for 27%, and 7-9 from strike for 78%. Certain offensive, 23 total boards, 12 assists, 15 fouls, 9 turnovers, 4 blocks, 10 steals. They also had 13 bench points, 28 points in paint, 8 points off turnovers, 8 second chance points, 6 fast break points, 10 of 16 on layups and shots from in close, 2 of 2 from on dunks, 1 tie, 2 times to take the lead, 64 possessions, 27 scores, 0.97 points per possession, scoring of 42% of possessions, turnover 14%. Led for 15 minutes, 14 seconds, trailed for 23 minutes, 22 seconds, or were tied for a minute 25. In the first half, Dennis, 7 points, 3 of 4 overall, made his lone 3-pointer in the first half, 1 offensive, 3 total boards, 1 assist. Meyer, 5 points, 2 of 4 from the floor, 1 of 2 from range, 5 boards, 1 assist, 1 steal. Bennett, 2 points, 1 of 2 from the floor, 0 from 1 from range. 2 boards, 2 assists, 1 foul, 2 turnovers, 1 block shot. Walker, 4 points, 1 of 6 from the floor, 0 for 2 from range, and hit both free throws. 1 board, 1 assist, 1 turnover, 1 steal. Saxon with 4 points, 2 of 4 from the floor, 0 for 1 from range. 1 assist, 1 foul. Rojas with 5 points, 2 of 4 from the floor, 1 of 2 from range, with an assist and a foul and a steal. Magasa with a turnover in 2 minutes. Harako, 0 for 1 from range, 3 fouls, 1 turnover in 6 minutes. And Sadi, 3 points, 1 to 3 from range, 1 block, 1 steal. Again, 30 points, 12 of 28 from the floor for 43%, 413 from range for 31%, and hit both free throws. 3 offensive, 13 total boards, 7 assists, 6 fouls, 6 turnovers, 2 blocks, 4 steals, 8 bench points, 10 paint points, 2 points off turnovers, 4 second chance points, 3 all boards, already mentioned that. 31 possessions, 13 scores, 4.97 points per possession, scored 42% of their possessions, turned over 19% of the time. Second half, Dennis with 9 points on 3 of 6 overall, 1 of 3 from range, and 2 of 2 from stripe, 1 board, 1 foul, 1 block shot. Meyer, 7 points, 3 of 5 overall, 1 from 1 from range, 1 of 3 from the stripe, 2 boards, 1 assist, 1 foul, 1 steal. Bennett, 7 points, 3 of 5 overall, 1 of 3 from range, 1 board, 3 fouls, 1 turnover, 2 steals. Walker, 4 points, 1 of 8 from the floor, 0 for 4 from range, and hit both free throws with 2 assists and a steal. Saxon committed a foul in 6 minutes. Rojas, 2 points, made his own field goal, 2 assists, 1 foul, 1 block shot. Magasa with the steal in 2 minutes. Haruko, 0 for 1 in 3 minutes. And Saudi with 3 points, 1 to 3 overall, 1 to 2 from range, 2 offensive, 3 total boards, 2 fouls with turnover, 1 steal. 32 points for Wyoming in the second half, 12-29 for the floor for 41%, 3 of 13 from range, 23%, and 5 of 7 for 30 strike for 71%. For offensive, 10 total boards, 5 assists, 9 fouls, 3 turnovers, 2 blocks, 6 steals, 5 bench points, 16 paint points, 6 points off turnovers, 4 second chance points, 6 fast break points, 30 possessions, 15 scores, 1.07 points per possession, scored 50% of the time, turnover 10% of the time. Now for the home Broncos stats. Starting off is the Phoam Ranger player of the game for the Broncos, Dylan Andrews. A game high 20 points on 6 of 9 overall, 2 of 4 from range, and hit all 6 free throw attempts. 1 offensive, 2 total boards, 1 assist, 1 foul, 2 turnovers, 1 steal in 31 minutes. Peanut Carmichael was 0 for 3 from the floor, 0 for 2 from range with the board. He only played 9 minutes because in 10th minute sounds like he started cramping up or rolled an ankle or something, a calf injury or something like that, and didn't play after 9 minutes in the first half. So we'll see if he can recover well enough in time for the Fresno State road game tomorrow afternoon. I know that we'll need him on Tuesday for senior night against San Diego State, and next weekend when they play at Colorado State. Hopefully he can be healed and ready to go for at least 1 or 2 or all 3 of those remaining games in the season. In the middle, back in double digits with 10 points from 9 overall, 2 of 5 from range. 1 board, 3 assists, 2 fouls, 1 turnover in 34 minutes. Drew Fielder with 18 points. 6 of 10 overall, 1 of 2 from range, 5 of 6 from the charity stripe, 1 offensive, 7 total boards, team high. Well, almost a team high, I should say. 1 assist, 2 turnovers, 2 blocks in 30 minutes. Javon Buchanan with 17 points on 7-10 shooting, 0 for 2 from range, and 3 of 3 from the stripe. 2 offensive, 6 total boards, 1 assist, 2 fouls, 2 turnovers, 31 minutes. AJ Neto, 0 for 2 overall, 0 for 1 from range with an assist, 3 fouls, 1 turnover in 15 minutes. Bon Phuong only played 2 minutes with a foul and was 0 for 1 from the floor. RJ Keene with 2 points on a layup was 1 of 3 from the floor, 0 for 2 from range. 1 offensive, team high 9 boards, 4 assists, 1 foul, 1 turnover, 2 blocks and 2 steals. One of his better defensive games in his career so far, and especially this season. 28 minutes played. Don Perlin, 3 points, 1 of 3 from the floor, 0 for 1 from range, and 1 of 2 from the stripe. 2 offensive, 5 total boards, 1 foul, 2 blocks in 11 minutes. And Spencer Irons again with a cold night for him, or a slow night comparatively for him. Again, he's even as true freshman can average maybe like 10 plus points a game. In this game, only had 2 points. 0 for 3 from the floor, 0 for 2 from range. Hit both free throw attempts with 3 offensive boards, 1 foul, 3 turnovers, 1 block shot, 9 minutes played. Game Broncos with 72 points, 25 of 53 for 47%, 5 of 21 for 24% from range, and 17-19 for 90%, nearly 90% from the charity stripe. 10 offensive, 35 total boards, 11 assists, 12 fouls, 12 turnovers, 7 blocks, 3 steals. Again, the most block shots in the game, I believe, so far this season. 7 bench points, 36 paint points, 12 points off turnovers, 17 second chance points, 6 fast break points, 12-15 on layups. Sad shots in close, 1-on-1 to dunks, 2 times took the lead in the game. 61 possessions, 33 scores for 1.18 points per possession. Scored 54% of the time, turned over nearly 20% of the time. Led for 23 minutes 22 seconds, trailed for 15 minutes 14 seconds, and were tied for a minute 25. In the first half, Dylan Andrews with 8 points, hit all 4 field goal attempts, all from inside the arc, 1 assist, 1 steal. Again, ready to mention Pino Carmichael's stats. Again, he only played in the first half. Well, he played in only 7 minutes first half. Spent a while on the elliptical. Looks like tried to play in the second half, but couldn't do more than the 2 minutes. So again, 1 board in 7 minutes, was over 3, over 2 from range. First half in the middle with 5 points, 2 of 4 from the floor, 1 of 2 from range, 1 board, 2 assists, 1 turnover. Drew Fielder with 8 points, 3 of 6 overall, 1 of 1 from range, and 1 of 2 from the stripe. 1 offensive, 4 total boards, 1 assist, 1 turnover block. Javen with 8 points, 3 of 4 overall, 0 from 1 from range, and hit both free throws. 1 board. AG Neto, 0 from 1 from the floor, 2 fouls, 1 turnover. Bond was 0 from 1 with a foul in 2 minutes. RJ didn't attempt a shot in the first half, but had 3 boards, 2 assists, 1 foul, 1 block, and 1 steal. Dom with 3 points, 1 of 3 from the floor, 0 from 1 from range, and 1 of 2 from the stripe. 1 offense, 2 total boards, and 2 blocks in the first half. Spencer, 0 from 1 from range, with a turnover and a block shot. Overall, 32 points for the Broncos, 13 of 27 for 48% overall, 2 of 8 from range for 25%. 4 of 6 from the stripe for 67%. 2 offensive, 13 total boards, 6 assists, 4 fouls, 4 turnovers, 5 blocks, 2 steals, 3 bench points, 18 paint points, 7 points off turnovers, 3 second chance points, 4 fast break points, 30 possessions, 15 scores, 1.07 points per possession, scored 50% of the time, turned over 13% of the time. In the second half, for the Broncos, Dillon with 12 points on 2 of 5 shooting, 2 of 4 from range, and 6 of 6 from the stripe. 1 offense, 2 total boards, 1 foul, 2 turnovers. Pino Carmichael had no stats at 2 minutes played. Again, he did, as mentioned, after getting that little injury in the first half. Was on elliptical for a while, it sounds like. Tried to come back and play in the game, but just wasn't working. Andrew with 5 points, 2 of 5 overall, 1 of 3 from range, 1 assist, 2 fouls. Drew with 10 points, 3 of 4 overall, 0 for 1 from range, and hit all 4 free throws. 3 boards, 1 turnover and block. Javen with 9 points on 4 of 6 overall, 0 for 1 from range, and made his lone free throw attempt. 2 offensive, 5 total boards, 1 assist, 2 fouls, 2 turnovers. AG 0 for 1 from the range, 1 assist, 1 foul. RJ with 2 points, 1 of 3 from the floor for 2 from range, with 1 offensive, 6 total boards, 2 assists, 1 turnover, 1 block, and a steal. Dom with 1 offensive, 3 total boards, and a foul. And Spencer with 2 points, 0 for 2 overall, 0 for 1 from range, and hit both free throw attempts, 3 offensive boards, 1 foul, 1 turnover. Broncos with 40 points second half, 12-26 from the floor for 46%, 3 of 13 for 23% from range. Hit all 13 free throw attempts, 8 offensive, 22 total boards, 5 assists, 8 fouls and turnovers, 2 blocks and a steal, 4 bench points, 18 paint points, 5 points off turnovers, 14 second chance points, 2 fast break points, 30 possessions, 19 scores, 1.33 points per possession. Scored 63% of the time, turnover about 27%. Again, the Broncos with a nice win over Wyoming. Again, a 10-point win. The win moved the Broncos to 17-11, 9-8 in conference play. The loss dropped Wyoming to 15-13, 6 of 11 in conference play. Back-to-back season sweeps. Again, the win against San Jose was the season sweep, and they did the same exact thing for Wyoming with the season sweep. And maybe the last time they might meet on the hardwood. Again, the reason why I say that is right now Boise State is like the 7th seed. If they were to finish 7th seed and Wyoming finishes the 10th seed, they would theoretically play. Well, they would play if this hypothetical theoretical situation plays out with the Broncos keeping the 7 seed, Wyoming the 10th seed in the conference tournament. They would face off in the first round in the conference tournament. Here's more of the recap. Broncos grew to 28-15 all-time against Wyoming. Broncos have won each of the previous 8 games against the Cowboys. They were 17-1 when leading the half, 12-0 when surrendering fewer than 70 points in a game this season. Broncos collected 6 blocks, signifying the second most the team has had in a game this season. They had 7 against New Mexico on December 30th, 2025. Don Andrews notched his 6th 20-point performance this season. Archie Keene led team boards with 9 assists with 4 steals with 2 and blocks with 2. Don Perlin recorded multiple blocks for a 4th time this season. The 2 were a season high. And I think let's double check that. Because I think the stat broadcast said 7 blocks for the Broncos. If that isn't it, it's tied for the most blocks in a game by the Broncos for that New Mexico home game. And yep, that broadcast does have the 7. So whoever did the recap on BroncosSports.com for the game definitely did not see that the Broncos were credited with 7 blocks in this game, so tied for the most blocks in a game this season. And while I'm here, you know what? This will extend this episode a little further. Well, actually, probably shouldn't, because it's already over an hour, and sometimes YouTube or Spotify might have trouble with the large videos, so I'll just call it here. Again, we're now caught up with men. It's basketball again tomorrow. They'll play Fresno on the road. I'll quickly do a preview of that one, and then I'll get going on catching up with women.